Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I just want to talk about a topic. Um, where recently I have a discussion with somebody. This is somebody overseas, and they were saying to me that the people in the diaspora has lost faith in the construction industry in Jamaica, and they just feel like everybody is out to rob them. Think them have a lot of money and just want to rob them, and they don't have no confidence in building in Jamaica here, returning to Jamaica. So I think me just do that video here if we kinda help build back the confidence, because it's not all that bad out here. So we really want to talk to the people them overseas who is looking to come back to Jamaica, looking to build here in Jamaica, or come and retire here in Jamaica. Despite all what going on, there's still some hope out here. So we just want to kind of build back the confidence there and provide you with like 10 tips you should consider when coming back home to build here in Jamaica. Tip number one, I would say to hire professionals. So you'll need an architect, you'll need a QS, and in some cases you may need a project manager. Now, the architect, draftsman, whoever it is, they are responsible for giving you full and complete drawings, right? So what is on the drawings is what you are expected to get on the ground. So hire the right professionals to get it done. Don't just pick up somebody who say draw something give you and then decide say that you're gonna build, right? I would say a project manager, especially when you are overseas. Some people may have a family member who is capable of overseeing the project for them and capable of managing it to completion. So I would say to have a project manager on board, especially when you're overseas, because one of the things that cause people to lose confidence in building out here is that they believe that the contractors are robbing them, and in some cases some people believe that it's either the same project manager or the person overseeing the project is robbing them. But if you get a professional project manager, you should avoid all of that, because the responsibility of the project manager is to ensure that you are getting quality for the money you are spending and to ensure the completion of the job to the right specifications that is presented on the drawings. Tip number two, you need a QS. As I said, the role of the QS is to ensure that you are getting value for money. So the QS will ensure that whatever work is done, that is what you have paid for. The QS will ensure that you have a contract in place between you and whoever is building the house, and there are different type of contracts, and each of them have different clauses to deal with a whole heap of things. Any dispute to come up, there's a clause for that. How payments are to be made, there's a clause for that. How long the project should take, there's a clause to deal with if that time changes. Everything you can think about, there is a clause in the contracts to do that. So a quantity surveyor would ensure that you have your contract in place and everything is set as it relates to your project. The QS will also ensure that you have a budget for this project, and that is important, because if you don't know what it's going to cost to build, how can you plan to build it? You understand? So the first thing you want to know is how much it will cost for build. And if you employ a QS in the initial stages during the design process, the QS can also give you an idea as it relates to cost that will kind of fine-tune your design in the beginning to prevent you from over designing something and creating a drawing that is going to be too expensive for you to build, right? So have the QS on board early, get yourself a budget, understand where you're going with costs, and also have the QS set up these contracts for you with your contractor, bid the project if necessary, and protect yourself. And probably that's even the most important tip, having a quantity surveyor, because that protects you, and once it's protecting, and from it's protecting you, it's also protecting your money. So definitely have a QS on board. Tip number three, I would say get the necessary municipal or parish council approvals. Guys, this is a second set of eyes to tell you what you are building, if it can be built in the area that you're looking to build in, or is it structurally sound to even stand up on its own. Now, you may have an engineer design the building for you, but the parish council is a second set of eyes. Also, the parish council will tell you if you are building in an earthquake fault line, an earthquake zone, anywhere there is flooding, the parish council can also give those information, and they will either approve or not approve that building plan. So seek out and get the necessary parish council approval. Tip number 4, I would say, and this ties back with your architect, do a topography plan. Assess the nature of the land, because this will determine if you can build on that land, if you can even afford to build on that land. If the land is a steep slope, naturally it's going to cost you a lot more money to build on compared to building on a flat land, right? So assess the land, get a land surveyor, get a topography plan done, and build to that plan. Now, depending on the slope of the land, you may need to do some form of cutting. Some people call it the house spot, cut the house spot, because the house have to sit down flat on the land, right? If it's too steep, you know what that means, a whole heap of cutting. And I can guarantee you, if it's a good land, you will be cutting into rock. No, that's probably weeks of digging. Just imagine an excavator where I charge you X amount per day or per hour, just there beating away for weeks trying to cut that house spot. By the time you don't cut the house spot, you don't run out of budget already. So assess the land that you're building on, ensure that you have a topography plan, because that is what is going to help you to keep on cost for one, and to determine if you can build that property on the land. Tip number 5, ensure that you have completed your accurate designs, right? Let me tell you what I'm trying to say here. Now, once you get the architect on board, ensure that once the architect draws your plan, that is what you intend to build. If you decide that halfway through the project you're no longer gonna keep a hallway here, you're gonna open up the space, that is additional money, because now you'll have to pay that contractor to demolish that wall that was already built. Or in a case where you decide that you're going to enclose a space after seeing the space, you're going to have to pay the contractor extra money to build a new wall. So changes cost money. A lot of dispute happens on construction project, especially with people overseas, because changes are made, and for some reason it probably was not communicated properly from the side of the contractor. Maybe the contractor never explained to you that this would be an additional cost, but changes cost money. So by ensuring that you have an accurate design, that will prevent you from additional costs. Tip number 6, ensure that you have funding in place to complete the project. Why? Because if you don't have the money, your project draw out, and over time, naturally the cost is going to go up. Because if you sign a contract with a contractor today to say complete your house for $10, and then you didn't have the funding, and by the time you reach $5 you run out of money, and then you say to him, say, we have to pause the work now and start again in the next couple of months. Maybe the next couple of months steel price gone up, material price gone up, all of these things have affected your contract. Now naturally the contractor is going to pass those increases to you. Again, a lot of disputes happen because people don't understand that the cost that we signed the project for, the cost that we signed the contract for at X time, it's going to incur additional monies, or it's going to require additional monies from this contractor to put into this project in order to get it completed. So these additional money will naturally be passed back to the client. I mean, the contractor is in business, so he's not in business to lose, so he's going to pass these back to the client. And if you don't understand how these come about, you may want to feel that he's robbing you, so again, having the QS on board, somebody who is representing your best interests, is the right way to go. The QS will advise you and how to deal with these additional costs. So you need to have your funding in place, because once the project starts, if the contractor said he's going to do it in 6 months, it is expected that he's going to do it in 6 months. So if the project costs $30 million and it's supposed to last for 6 months, you will know that every month you need to find $5 million technically. Like, we're just doing some basic maths there. So ensure that you have the funding in place, ensure that you can find the money, and that's an easy way to kind of work it out. I mean, if it's 30 million and you're saying you need to get it done in 6 months, just divide the 30 by 6, say 5 million a month, and you move from there. So that's an easy way to kind of work out how much you will need monthly in order to get this project off the ground and completed. Tip number 7: do research on potential contractors. Guys, we can't stress this enough, right? And like I said, I'm trying to rebuild some confidence in the local market, especially as it relates to contractors. We know that there are some bad eggs out there, but there are also good guys out there who will get your job done for you and will deal with you fairly. But again, you have to do your research. So I always say, get referrals, right? By getting referrals, you know somebody who you trust, who have used this person, and they can recommend them and say, yes, this is a good person to deal with. And remember, ask the questions even when they refer them to you. You meet them and ask the relevant questions. Ask them to show you some projects that they have completed, you know. And I would say even go a step further. For these projects that they have completed, ask them if you can speak to the client to find what was their experience with that contractor. So do your research on your potential contractors. Tip number 8, I mentioned this earlier as I was speaking about the quantity surveyor, is to ensure that there's a contract in place. Again, the contract protects both the client and the contractor. As I said, there are clauses to deal with any situation that might come up with construction of your project. So you want to know that you have the comfort that you are getting a fair price and there is some coverage if anything should change. There is a document that speaks to how change should be managed, and it is clear and understood and signed off by both parties. These things prevent disputes. Request a schedule from the contractor. A schedule is a document that specifies the sequencing of works and how long each item of work should take. So for example, if I'm going to dig foundations, how long should foundations take? Should foundation take like a week? So yes, the schedule of work would say dig foundations 1 week, right? Then it would say after foundations is dug, steel up foundation 3 days, right? After they finish steeling up the foundation, cast the foundation X amount of days. So this is what the schedule of work speaks to. So ensure that once you are going into a construction project, you request a schedule of works from your contractor. Ensure that you do regular checkup of your projects. Do not leave it to the mercy of the quantity surveyor, nor to the mercy of the project manager or the professionals that you hire to do the job. Ensure that you find the time to come and check on your project, just to make sure that you understand what is going on and you understand where the money is going. Ensure that you have regular meetings. If you cannot manage to come as often, ensure that weekly, at least an hour is spent weekly meeting with your professional team, meeting with your contractor over the phone, over online, whatever it is, Zoom call. Ensure that you have regular meetings. Make yourself accessible. So if there's an issue that comes up on site, make yourself accessible that the contractor may can reach out to you. I've seen where people do WhatsApp group, do WhatsApp calls regularly. stuff like that. Just make yourself accessible to the contractor so that he can reach you. Open the communication lines. Let it be a free flowing communication line where everybody can talk. WhatsApp group is one that I've seen a lot of people use, and that has been really good. So I hope this video has helped a lot, and we're just trying to build back the confidence, because I understand that a lot of people are afraid to come back home to invest here in Jamaica because of the whole, you know, they don't trust contractors out here, and they think they're going to get robbed. And I want to say something to even the contractors, because there are good contractors out there who are doing the thing right, but the bad apples are spoiling the whole bunch. So the you contractors, please ensure that you deal with the people fairly. Please, I'm asking you, ensure that you're dealing with the clients fairly, and please, clients, do the right thing. If you follow these tips, I guarantee you can have a smooth and successful project. So we're just here trying to, you know, build back the confidence. So I hope this video was helpful. You know what to do, guys. Like, share this video, comment, let us know what are your thoughts on these tips, and if you have any other tips, share them in the comment section. I'm in the comment section, reading everything, looking at everything, replying to everything. So share your tips with us, and until next time, guys, keep the dream alive. We out. All right.